still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic, I win this. So you hear those horns, you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you break.
The Legate. The Legate. This guy. This guy. Wait. This guy is unfucking believable. That's my terrible Christopher Walken impersonation. Somber. I want to give you a constructive suggestion here. Don't take it wrong, but just listen to this. When you're going to re-edit the story, please take into consideration completely rewriting the Legate. Or at least make him less unkillable, overpowered, or downright obnoxious. Because at this point in time, they fought the Legate 100 million times! And every time it was sold like, oh, this is the final showdown. No, wait, there is a final showdown after the final showdown. No, this is really the final showdown. No, wait, there is a final showdown after the final showdown. And it keeps going and going. And they keep fighting him over and over and over again. And he refuses to die every single time. When they removed the talisman from his body, that was the time he was supposed to die. But no, instead he turned into freaking Tetsuo at the end of Akira. And he keeps being such a pest. He's not a compelling villain or someone to fear, he's just such an annoyance at this point. He's like the Team Rocket of Project Horizons. He keeps being defeated and beaten and beaten, he keeps coming back and back and back to the point that you cannot take him seriously anymore. He's just a nuisance you're padding your story with. And I don't like him very much. It's just such a hassle to sit through yet another Legate fight. It's just like sitting through a John Cena versus Randy Orton match for the 250th time. In fact, come to think of it, the Legate is kind of like John Cena. He's unkillable, he never goes away, he keeps coming back, and nobody likes him. Well, couple that with the fact that he's a mass murderer, you have an evil, bizarro John Cena or some description. Yes, he's John Cena. Just... And in true John Cena fashion, he doesn't even have the decency to be defeated by the, you know, the babyface guys. The guys you want to win. No, instead, he is killed by his own hubris because he said he was this and that, and the Eater of Soul was not okay with that, so he melted him with the innervation, which I suppose it's some sort of ironic demise that was ambiguously prophesied by Pythia and the stars and all that. I call shenanigans. I call shenanigans on that, because even though it's ironic, again, from a reader's standpoint, that has got to be the most unsatisfactory, lame finish to a villain that this story has ever produced. And that's because Somber wrote himself into a corner with this villain. He made him too unkillable. For the sake of being unkillable, basically. Let me explain what I mean by this about really unsatisfactory resolutions. Let us think of what it actually took to get the Legate to his final knees, just in this fight alone. Let's see, Sweetie Bot exploded. That's not good. Lancer was chewed up by some sort of dog creature before that, and his body was used to distract the Legate momentarily, to get the upper hand momentarily, which is bad in its own right. Oh, and then, let's see, what else? Dusk was half digested. Whisper lost her wings, eaten by the Legate's knowing gape of a maw of a mouth that he's got going on there. And Ares got her head exploded too, I think. Nobody cares about that, but still. So many died, many others were deadly injured and crippled. And at the end of it all, it doesn't matter. At the end of it all of that was for nothing. Why? Because the Legate does not even have the decency to be defeated once and for all by the main character. He is defeated, he is killed by his master, in the most cop-out, anticlimactic way it could have possibly gone out. All for the sake of, of the irony of it all. And that's why I call shenanigans. And that's why Somber should have written the Legate to be slightly less overpowered and slightly less unkillable. Because it doesn't matter if it's a main character or a villain, if somebody is too unkillable and too overpowered, then there is no tension to it. There is no tension to a fight involving that character. There is no suspense. And it inevitably will lead to a really disappointing payoff. He is too OP. This needs some fixing. Desperately. The Legate. Just like John Cena, we couldn't get rid of him. But unlike John Cena, he is not fun to watch. Not anymore. Right, so next on the agenda is the dealer. I have issues with that too. I know, shocking, right? Here's my problem with that. If you remember all the way back to my original trilogy review of Project Horizons, the first 33 chapters, here is a card over here, if you want to watch that. I surmised, I hypothesized, words, that the dealer was basically a figment of Blackjack's imagination. He was, in her twisted mind, a representation of the wasteland itself. But it was only existing in her mind, because she was slowly going insane. Which makes sense, makes perfect sense, considering everything she was going through. She was going nuts. So of course she started hearing the voice of some sort of bony, skeleton-type pony that's supposed to, in her head, to represent the terrible fate and death that the wasteland brings upon, and it's daunting on her very soul. And then it turns out that the dealer was literally just a ghost of a pony named Echo that was trapped in her pip-pack. I thought that was dumb. But regardless, Somber took that angle and ran with it. But now the dealer is back, and he's supposed to be literally the embodiment of the wasteland, not just a figment of our imagination, not a ghost of a pony. Literally, he is the wasteland. At least that's the way he's presented, and we're supposed to take that at face value. I believe. I don't buy that for a second though, but still. It feels like the wasteland, which was this concept, this abstract concept more than a physical place, which is where pony souls go to die. Now, by doing this, it seems like the wasteland is a literal supervillain, which caused everything that went wrong. I'm just going to leave this thought floating in the air. This is just the first half of it, by the way. This is merely the first half of the final chapter. Incidentally, this is also where my major points of contention end.